Today is Tuesday, the 29th October, Dwadasi, or we're honoring it as Dwadasi, day after Ekadashi, because Ekadashi was actually on Sunday, and then we followed the fasting on Monday. So today in the main Parikrama is taking a rest today on Harikatha, so there's no Parikrama for them today. So we'll just continue with our regular Damodarastakam reading. So we'll sing first, and then we'll begin reading. Namamishvaram Satchit Anandarupam Lasatkunaram Gopurvejamaram Yashoda Yolokalatanam Aram Krishnatya Rudantamurhurnetra Yugam Nijantam Aramurhurmena Satam Netra Mohosvasakam Pampiyeham Kakanta Stita Devadam Svalilabhi Ananda Kunde Svagoshami Majantam Aklapayantam Radeshita Yeshu Bhaktya Chitavam Puna Prematastam Sanariti Vande Varam Deva Moksha Na Moksha Vadimva Nakanyam Vineha Varisharapiya Idam Teva Purnata Gopalabhavam Sadam Vimanya Sadishtam Idam te mukham vaja avyakta ilaye Vrundaya Vrundaya Svidaya Paichamurya Moskambitam bimba raktadharam me Manasya vishram ala lakshmajanavade Namo Deva Damoda Ananda Vishnu Prasida Pramodukam Jayabhimadnam Kripa Dristi Vrisyati Dinam Vatanu Brahmanishama Adyam Eyakshadrishya Veratma Chovada Mutyaiva Yadvat Vayom Mochito Bhakti Vajovritocha Tata Prema Bhaktim Svakam Me Prayacha Namo Shigravo Mesti Damodarastakam Namaste Studamnis Aditijamne Vadiyodharayata Vishwasyanamne Namo Radhikaya Vadiyapriyaya Namo Natali Jai Shri Shri Radha Damodar Ju Ki Jai, Radha Govinda Dev Ki Jai, Shri Nityananda Rai Ki Jai, Sachinandana Gauda Hari Ki Jai, Jai Nitya Lila Pravishta Om, Asto Tadasara Shishimad, Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai, Jai Nitya Lila Pravishta Om, Asto Tadasara Shishimad, Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jai Nitya Lila Pravishta Om Asto Tarasara Shishimad Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Jagat Guru Nitya Lila Pravishta Om Asto Tarasara Shishimad Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jai Paramahamsa Mahabhagavat Srila Gaura Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj ki jai. Jai Saptam Goswami Srila Satchidananda Bhakti Vinod Thakur ki jai. Jai Vaishnav Sarvabhauma Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj ki jai. Jai Srila Baladevi Dibhushan Gaudi Varantaracharya ki jai. Jai Srila Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur ki jai. Jai Narottam Srinivas Shyamananda Prabhu Traya ki jai. Jai Srila Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami ki jai. Jai Shri Rup, Sanatan, Shibata Raghunath, Shri Jiva Gopal, Bharadasa Raghunath Sat Goswami Prabhu's ki jai. Jai Swarab Damodar Rai Ramananda Gauda Parsada ki jai. Namacharya Shri Haridas Thakur ki jai. Prem Sigahol Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Shri Gauda Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Shri Antadvip, Mayapur, Simantadvip, Gaudurandvip, Madhyadvip, Koladvip, Ritudvip, Janadvip, Modundvip, Rududvip, Atmaka Navadvip Dham ki jai. Bandiravan, Baduravan, Belvan, Lohavan, Mahavan, Madhuvan, Talvan, Kamudvan, Bahulavan, Vrindavan, Kadyavan, Kamyavan, Brajamandal ki jai. Shri Radha Krishna, Gopa, Gopi, Govardhan, Dwadasavar Matmika, Shri Brajamandal ki jai. Shri Radha Kun, Shama Kun, Ganga Jamuna Devi, Bhakti Devi, Tulsi Devi, Maharani ki jai. Shrimati Brinda Devi Maharani ki jai. Shrimati Purnamasi Devi Yogamaya Maharani ki jai. Shri Gopishwa Mahadev ki jai. Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Sudarshan Chakra ki jai. Ketra Mandal ki jai. Sarva Vigna Vanasakari Shina Shingadev Bhagavan ki jai. Bhakta Prabha Shri Prahlad Maharaj ki jai. Charidam ki jai. Chari Sampradaya ki jai. Chari Acharya ki jai. Akaramat Raj Shri Chaitanya Mat ki jai. Shri Keshavji Gaudiya Mat ki jai. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Harinam Sankirtan ki jai, Anantakota Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai, Samagata Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Gau Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. Om Nagina Timirandasya Gyananjala Shalakaya Chakshu Unmilitam Jina Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Guruve Gaura Chandraya Radhikaya Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tara Bhaktaya Namo Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Shtapitam Jina Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kathamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Anapita Chirim Chirat Kuranavartino Kalo Samarpaitam Unnata Ujvala Rasam Swabhakti Shriyam Haripurata Sundara Duti Katambas Dipita Sada Hridare Kandare Spuratu Vasachinandanaha Priya Sarupe, Daita Sarupe, Prema Sarupe, Sahajabi Rupe, Nijana Rupe, Pabueka Rupe, Tatana Rupe, Swavala Sarupe Yam Pravajantam Anapetyam Apeti Krityam Vaipayano Viraha Katara Ajuhava Putre Titam Mayatayo Tarabo Vinidustam Sarvabhutam Hridim Munimanato Shmi Bhaktya Vihina Aparada Lakshay Shiptascha Karmadi Tarangamadye Kripa Mayitvam Sharanam Prapana Brinde Namaste Charanarvindam Bhajami Radham Aravinda Netram Smarami Radham Madhurashmitasyam Vadami Radham Karuna Baradram Tato Mamanasti Katyena Kapi Tavaivasmi Najivami Tvaivina Iti Vignaya Radhe Tvam Nayamam Charanantikam. I'm first of all offering millions and millions of Dhamma pranams to the lotus feet of my beloved Gurudev, Nitya Lila Pravishta Om, Astok Tarzara Shishimad, Srila Bhakti Vedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj. And I'm offering the same again millions and millions of times to our most beloved Nitya Lila Pravishta Om, Astok Tarzara Shishimad, Srila Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, and all our illustrious Rupanuga, Guru Bharat, and all the Vaishnava and Vaishnavi devotees of the Lord, my Dandavat pranams to all of you. Vanchakalpa Turubhyascha, Kripa Sindhuvevicha, Patitanam Pavnivyo Vaishnavenam. So, we continue our great adventure into the Damodarastakam, progressing through, and we've reached a pivotal verse, this fourth verse, where Satyabrat Muni is rejecting even Navada Bhakti. He's rejecting, it's as if Krishna is offering him moksha. And we discussed yesterday how the principal goal prior to Mahaprabhu was moksha. And above moksha would have been certainly Vaikuntha, Prem, Vaikuntha Prem. So these three conceptions are being rejected by Satyabrat Muni. So this means a higher consideration is being presented here. So this is where we're up to, this is where we're going, or where Satyabrat Muni in his aspiration is moving to. So today we begin on verse 4. It's page 83 in the Damodarastakam book, the Digdarshini Britti. This is the commentary by my Gurudev Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj. Up till now, Sri Satyabrat Muni had been describing the sweet pastimes of Krishna, and specifically the pastimes characterized by Vatsalya Ras. Consequently, his heart had been melting, and he is becoming fully absorbed in them. Sri Krishna is not especially pleased with prayers offered by Lord Brahma or other demigods. On the other hand, if one sings about the pastimes of Sri Krishna's devotees, and especially about the pastimes of the Brijabasis, then Sri Krishna will not only be pleased, but he will even be controlled by them. This is what we're hearing throughout these descriptions of the Brijabasis. Their ability or their potency, because of their affection and love, completely control Sri Krishna. So this was a conception that was not considered previous to Mahaprabhu. Sri Satyabrat Muni then prayed, "O Damodar, your mother has so much affection for you, and above all others, you are by far her favorite. She is the very embodiment of boundless Vatsalya Prem for you. With profound motherly affection, she cares for you and nurtures you, considering you to be her dependent child. Naturally, just as a mother's qualities ordinarily appear in her children, her motherly quality of forgiveness and compassion also appears in you. Kindly ignore my offenses, my sins, my anarthas, and my bad qualities, and just be pleased with me. Kindly just grant me your causeless mercy." So this is a glorification of Mother Yashoda. So who demonstrated even more motherly affection than Mother Yashoda? Sachimata for Nimai, young Nimai. Sachimata is the embodiment of Yashoda Ma. She's the embodiment of all the previous mothers. You can remember the pastime in Navadvip when Mahaprabhu, he returns one day and he asks his mother for a garland to offer to Ganga Ma. She didn't have one, immediately ready. He went into the most towering rage. Hard to consider. Vrindavan Das Thakur describes this in Chaitanya Bhagavat. And he breaks everything in the house. He picks up a stick, his mother is hiding in a corner, and he smashes everything in the house, even the bags of drying herbs on the rafters. He breaks all of those. He breaks everything. Breaks the door, breaks the windows, breaks everything in the house. And then he comes out and he starts beating a tree in the courtyard. And then he finally starts beating the earth. And then he passes out on the earth. Meanwhile, what is Sachimata doing? She's just observing what's happening. And as soon as Mahaprabhu, Nimai, passes out, she immediately goes and gets a garland and the oil, and then comes, wipes his face, and when he comes back to consciousness, she gives him the garland, gives him the oil, and tells him to go and take his bath in the Ganga. No admonishing him, nothing. So this type of dedication, motherly dedication to fulfilling her son's desires, I've always thought, I haven't read this in the commentary, but I've always considered that Mahaprabhu was demonstrating this violent act of smashing everything to show the world the extraordinary greatness of Mother Sachi's ability to tolerate that. Mother Sachi had to tolerate so much. Yashodama also tolerated when Krishna went to Mathura. But Mother Sachi, she tolerated when Nimai took sannyas. Already her Vishramba, he had taken sannyas and gone from the house. Her husband had left her, and all she had left was Nimai, and then he left also. So she also is an extraordinary example of the highest Vatsalya Bhav. So this is what we're appreciating here. But we're appreciating particularly today Mother Yashoda's boundless Vatsalya Prem. It is as though Sri Krishna, being pleased by Satyabrat Muni's prayer, had asked the sage to accept his desired boons. And now, in the beginning of this stanza, the sage says, Varam Deva Moksham, na Mokshava Dimva. I do not want liberation, or even the utmost limit of freedom, residence in Vaikuntha-loka, nor have I any need for other such benedictions. Sri Satyabrat Muni prays, O Bhagavan, you are the original Lord of all lords and the source of everything. Therefore you are capable of granting all benedictions. Nothing is impossible for you. Although liberation is the cherished attainment of one who has realized the temporary nature of worldly existence and has consequently become detached, I have no need for the benediction of attaining liberation. There are 5 kinds of mukti described in the scriptures: Salokya, Samipya, Sarupya, Sharsti, and Sayuja. Now there's a footnote here, and I'll read it just to elaborate on these liberation types. So the 5 kinds of mukti grant the following opulences. Salokya grants residence on the same planet as Bhagavan. Samipya grants constant nearness to him. Sarupya grants a form like his, and Sharsti grants boundless fortune similar to his. The 5th type of liberation, Sayuja, is attained at the exclusion of the other 4, as it grants total cessation of the individual ego by merging into the existence of Bhagavan. So the devotees are never interested in this Sayuja Mukti. So these are the 4 principal liberations of Vaikuntha. My Gurudev has written one book called Going Beyond Vaikuntha, and he very much wants us to appreciate the supremacy of Goloka Vrindavan in comparison to Vaikuntha, because Vaikuntha was the dual aspiration of all great personalities prior to Mahaprabhu's advent. It was only with the advent of Mahaprabhu, who is describing the nature of Krishna's pastimes, Krishna's Leela, because no one could understand, there was no access to Krishna's Leela without Mahaprabhu manifesting. Who understood? They understood Krishna as Parthasarthi on the battle of Kurukshetra. They understood Krishna in Dwarka with the Yadus, or in Mathura, in his pastimes like this. These were all broadcast fully. But the pastimes of Vrindavan were very bewildering because they're so heavy and rich in a love that is beyond general conception. This love, this prem that we're hearing about is beyond any kind of understanding that was there previously. But Mahaprabhu, he came with Nityananda and broke open this dam, broke open this conception of Goloka Prem. the highest prem, Braja Prem and Braja Ras. And he broke this open in such a way that it has been passed down to us through the Acharyas, through Rupa Goswami, Sanatan Goswami, Jiva Goswami, etc. It's come down from Mahaprabhu so that we have it in a full fruit today. We can only understand these things in line, in this crumb, in this process. Avaroha Panta. The final cessation of all forms of misery suffered during the endless cycle of birth and death is mukti. Resolving to permanently end their suffering, some people aspire for sayuja mukti, merging into the impersonal feature of Brahm. This form of mukti is actually offensive and is fully opposed to bhakti because there's no relationship, there's no sambandha in that place of mukti. Who do you have a relationship in the Brahman? It's just yourself. Being satisfied, Brahma Bhuta Prasanatma na sochati na kanchati, having no material desires, but there's no relationship. Previously, even the four Kumaras, Sri Sanak, Sri Sanandan, Sri Sanatan, and Sri Sanat Kumar, desired this kind of mukti. And again, there's a footnote here that's very helpful to read. In Sanatan Goswami's Digdarshani Tika, the prayer from Srimad Bhagavatam 3.15.49, beginning with Karamam Bhava, is spoken by the four Kumaras during their first direct darshan of Lord Narayan at the gates of Vaikuntha. Needless to say, by the time they spoke that prayer, they had long since abandoned their desire for Sayuja Mukti, because they had darshan directly of the Supreme Lord. So that will wake up that sambandha instantly. So any idea of anything separate from him, just like Satyabrat Muni's prayer all the way through, is increasing for the darshan, the proximity of Bal Krishna. He wants to be with Krishna. So it's all this deepening these different rasas, different relationships from Dasi to Sakya, Vatsalya. This is where the progression is. However, as Sri Satyabrat Muni prays for his desired boon, he discards the goal of moksha, Sayuja Mukti, with the words Varam Deva Moksham. And with the words Na Moksavadim Va, he expresses that he does not even want the unending, concentrated happiness of residing in Vaikuntha, the ultimate limit of freedom. We have to, in our hearts, be able to reject. I described yesterday these stages of sadhan bhakti, bhav bhakti, and prema bhakti. Klesh Agni Shubhada describes the sadhan bhakti, and Moksha Lokhuta Krit describes bhav bhakti, that I look with insignificance upon moksha. Sri Krishna Kashani Chasa, this Sandra Anandan Visheshatma, Sri Krishna Akashani Chasa. This is the stage of prem. So these three stages, sadhan bhakti, bhav bhakti, and prema bhakti. So in the stage of bhav bhakti, there's not even a smell, not even a scent of desire for my own liberation or my own even sense gratification. Even in the stage of asakti, this stage after ruchi. In asakti, it's when this intense greed has just captured the heart, moving towards the stage of bhav. There's not even a smell for my own sensual pleasures, etc. What to speak of wanting mukti or cessation of all the miseries of this world? Not even thinking about that. We should carefully consider the meaning of moksha svadin. Unlike Sayuja Mukti, the other four kinds of mukti are not entirely unfavorable to bhakti. Those who accept these four kinds of mukti exist within the realm of Vaikuntha in two classifications. One class, Swa Sukhaishwarya Uttarya Moksha, the desire for one's own happiness and opulence predominates, This is in Vaikuntha even, our own happiness. Whereas in the other class, Prem Seva Uttara Moksha, one's longing to render loving service to Sri Bhagavan predominates over all other desires. This is the point. This is the point we're looking to reach, where this desire to please the Lord with our loving service predominates over everything. Those who long for Prem Sevata Moksha never desire the inferior Swa Sukhaishvarya Uttarya Moksha. The example of the four Kumaras illustrates this. When the four Kumaras experienced the fragrance of the tulsi leaves that had been placed upon the lotus feet of Sri Narayan, they utterly abandoned their previous desires for impersonal liberation. They at once became Jnani Bhaktas, devotees who have knowledge of the Lord's absolute divinity, and began seeking after Prem Sevatara Moksha. So this mood of completely only wanting to serve and please the Lord, just like we're hearing about Mother Yashoda, we're hearing about the gopis, we're hearing about all the Brijvasis, even the Sakas, the cowherd boys. They had no other desire. It's described that Sridham Saka, he would pray to the moon to quickly finish his orbit so that he would be with Krishna again in the morning. And Subal never lets go of the hand of Krishna, even in his dreams. These Sakas, they love Krishna with every atom of their being. But this is still a certain stage. It's not the highest stage, but still this realm, this world of love. This is the world that we're entering, which is in so much contrast to this material, conditioned world where we stay, this illusion, where there is no love. We might say, well, the love of a mother for her child, but that is completely conditioned because it's her child. The mother wouldn't rise early in the morning to feed all the other children in the street, but she'll do it for her own child. So there's a selfishness there. So that's the highest form of love in this material world. Sudha Bhaktas, however, have one-pointed attachment for the loving service of Sri Krishna. How to develop this? This is the goal of our lives. And this goal can be fulfilled the more we hear Leela Gatha. We need the tattva to substantiate the platform, to put us on track, to put us out of the illusion of trying to exploit the material energy. We must have that tattva. But that only wants to render loving service to the Lord. So this is the principal goal. Shuddha Bhaktas, however, have one-pointed attachment for loving service to Sri Krishna. They do not even aspire for Prem Sevatara Moksha, wherein some desire for one's own happiness still remains. When Sri Bhagavan offers such one-pointed devotees either of these classes of moksha, they never accept. Therefore, in Srimad Bhagavatam, Sri Bhagavan says, Dhyam anam na grananti vina mat sevanam jana. A pure devotee never accepts any kind of moksha, even if I personally offer it to him. Facebook stream has stopped.
It will come in 1 minute.
Yes, but it's got finish here. Should I touch it?
It will take 1 minute by itself.
You cannot do anything.
Huh? I cannot do anything.
When this happens, you have to wait.
Okay. So if anyone's watching Facebook or wants to send a message to Facebook,
They will get a frozen screen for 1 minute. But
yeah,
when
it's
it reach
frozen.
you, you will automatically.
Okay, so the Facebook is clonked out probably because of the fan. I don't know. So, but if anyone wants to send a message to a friend on Facebook, they can say that the YouTube one is still working. I don't know that this is going to actually go. I think I have to finish it and start it again on the Facebook. Yes or no?
It's just a technique. We cannot do anything. We have to wait.
Okay.
The connection will improve by itself.
It's
Yeah.
YouTube is working.
Yes, I know.
YouTube is working.
We all know that.
On the Facebook, I will check.
Now it's closed. I'm just going to say, go into here and do the usual thing. And then I'll start the posting. Okay, I'm going to start, excuse me, on YouTube. I'm just having to start the post again. On Facebook. Description. Done. Okay, go live. Okay, excuse me, on YouTube. We've just started again. So, welcome on Facebook. I'm just trying to reconnect again with a new stream. So we're still in YouTube. I'm going to start this paragraph again because there was so much disturbance. Shuddha Bhaktas, however, have one pointed attachment for the loving service of the Lord. They do not even aspire for prem sevatara moksha, wherein some desire for one's own happiness still remains. When Sri Bhagavan offers such one-pointed devotees either of these classes of moksha, they never accept. Therefore, in Srimad Bhagavatam 3:29-13, Sri Bhagavan says, Dhyamanam na garananti vinamat sevanam jana. A pure devotee never accepts any kind of moksha, even if I personally offer it to him. This is the whole crux of this verse, Vanamdeva Moksha. The unalloyed devotee's only desire is to engage in loving service to Sri Bhagavan. In the history of Ritrasura, narrated in Srimad Bhagavatam, Ritrasura rejected all varieties of moksha and prayed to be able to render service to the lotus feet of Sri Bhagavan.
Nana kaprushtham na chaparyameshtyam na sarvabhaumam na rasadhipatyam na yoga siddhira punarbhavam va samanjasatva virahasya kangshe.
Very good. Nice melody. Thank you. O ocean of all good fortune, apart from serving your lotus feet, I do not wish for anything. I do not wish to obtain the summit of heaven, Dhruvaloka, the Vaikuntha planet situated at the zenith of the material cosmos, nor the highest seat of power within the universe, the seat of Lord Brahma, nor have I any desire for sovereignty over all the earth, nor sovereignty of all the planets, down to Rastalaloka, which are flooding with sense enjoyment. I do not long for mastery over all the yoga siddhis, nor even for the end of repeated birth and death, moksha. This is Vritrasura. This is the first conception of pure love that's actually introduced into the Bhagavatam by Shukadev Goswami in the 6th canto. Vritrasura, previously of course, is Chitraketa, and he has darshan of Sankarshan, and he worships Sankarshan as his Ishtadev, and he is completely, fully on the highest platform of devotion. And in his prayers in front of Lord Indra, he's rejecting any sort of moksha. Because we should understand the Devas, they have actually no real conception of these topics of Shuddha Bhakti. The Devas, I've said so many times, their spiritual master Brihaspati is being described by Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur as being Brahman realized. So if you're Brahman realized, then what about all your followers? They also will want to be Brahman realized. So we know that in their very, very responsible positions, the Devas, they are in that position, this Bhoga Yoni. Swagaloka is a place of pleasure, Bhoga, a species of pleasure, Bhoga Yoni. So they have tremendous opulence personally, and they have that because they have to do tremendous service as masters of this material world for distributing fire, air, etc., the water. This is all arranged by the Devas themselves, and they're completely dharmic. But their ability to actually leave that dharma, it's impossible for them to leave that dharma. It's like impressed within them because they have such massive services to do that are connected with that dharma. Can you imagine if Surya Dev suddenly didn't want to orbit the Earth, the planetary system for a day? What would happen? You know, if Vayu decided to take a break, if the air stopped, which he did at one point, when his son Hanuman got punched in the mouth by Indra, then he took his son into a cave, and it was very miserable, and all the air in all the planets stopped as a result, and then all the Devas came and offered great prayers and glorification to Vayudev, and then he was pacified and began to distribute the air again. So they have these huge responsibilities which are encased in a mood of dharma. All the demigods are like that. So as far as bhakti is concerned, that's practically vacant for the Devas. And they even see Vishnu, they see Krishna in the form of Vishnu. Regularly, he comes. But they don't have that loving attraction to him, to serve him. They just think he's the greatest, most powerful personality. They don't have the sambandha. In the same way, Sri Satyabrat Muni is not even asking for a boon related to the ultimate limit of moksha, residence in Vaikuntha. Devotees are so fortunate we can understand this whole cosmology, you know, through our philosophy. We understand the earth planet, we understand Swagaloka, we understand even all the different planets in Swagaloka, the different personalities in Swagaloka, then across from Swagaloka, across the Viraja River, into Siddhaloka, then beyond into Vaikuntha. Now we're hearing about Vaikuntha and its regions, etc. It's like the devotees are really like cosmic souls. And then beyond even Vaikuntha, into Ayodhya, into Mathura, Dwarka, beyond there, into Goloka Vrindavan. And all these gradations are very important for the devotees to meditate on and appreciate. We are here and Goloka Vrindavan. Where is that? All I have to do is simply cultivate that aspiration to reach that goal. That's all I'm capable of doing practically in this life. To cultivate the desire to come to Goloka Vrindavan, particularly as a maidservant of Sri Radhika. This is the desire that we've been offered by Sachinandan Gaurahari, if we want to pick that up as a manjari. That's what he's giving. Mahaprabhu is giving that specifically, not giving Sakya Rasa or anything. Satyabrat Muni continues, Narcha Anyam. Furthermore, I have no desire to obtain any other benediction. By the word Anya, other, in this phrase, Sri Satyabrat Muni implies, I do not even want the result of performing the 9 kinds of Vaidinavada Bhakti, hearing about Sri Bhagavan's Shravanam, chanting his names, Kirtan, remembering him, Vishnu Smaranam, serving his lotus feet, Padasevanam, worshipping him, Archana, praising him, Vandanam, maintaining the attitude of serving him, Dasya, nurturing a friendship with him, Sakya, and submitting one's very self to him, Atma Nivedanam. So these are the 9, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Padasevanam, Archana, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atma Nivedanam. These are the 9 Navada Bhakti. And Satyabrat Muni is saying, I'm not aspiring for that path. His response astonishes Sri Krishna, who then asks, the ninefold system of devotional service, Navada Bhakti, has been abundantly praised in the scriptures, yet you do not want to accept even that? What then is your desire? Understand this progression. This is a very powerful verse, this fourth verse. As I say, it's like a pivotal verse. It's really opening the door to the entirety of the path of bhakti. What sort of bhakti are we engaging in? What is our sadhya? What is our goal? What is it that we want, ultimately? We have to consider these things. I think by hearing these prayers, by hearing these descriptions, it wakes up contemplation of these topics within us. This is its purpose. The commentaries are supposed to wake up contemplation on it. What then is your desire? Then Sri Satyavrat Muni utters his prayer. My only desire is that your form of little Balagopal manifest in my heart forever. That small cowherd boy who is afraid of his mother and who is looking here and there with fearful, suspicious eyes. In the phrase, Varished apiha, Vari ishat api iha. The word iha means here or in this place. Thus the sage is praying, may your form as a little cowherd boy, which is present here in Vrindavan, appear within my heart. I have no need for any other benedictions besides this. This is the particular limit in verse 4. In verse 8, it transitions even higher. But right now, this is the stage where we're at. The form of Balagopal will only appear in one's heart as a result of prema bhakti, smaranam of Sri Krishna, do not care if they go to heaven or hell. Their only desire is to engage in cultivating prema bhakti under the guidance of Tattva Gyan Rasik Vaishnavas. Vaishnavas who have realized the absolute truth and who are expert in relishing loving emotions. It is therefore said,
Tannama Rupa Charitadi Sukirtananu Smrutyo Kramena Rasana Manasi Niyojya Tishtan Vraje Tadanuragi Jananugami Kalam Nayeda Kila Mritchupadesha Saram.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Very nice. So much different with the melody or potency. The Bhakti Sadhaks, this is from Upadeshamrita, Rupa Goswami. This is the heartbeat of Upadeshamrita. The Bhakti Sadhaks should perform kirtan and smaranam, remembrance of Sri Krishna's name, form, character, and pastimes. Thus they should gradually engage their tongues and minds, withdrawing them from absorption in sense objects which cause aversion to Sri Krishna. We were reading beautiful pastimes or writings by Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj the other day, and he said it's like, are we at war with the Absolute? As soon as we feel aversion to Krishna's mercy, it's like, or we are seeking our own sensual pleasures, this is like we have created a war with the Absolute. It was a very beautiful essay. Residing in Braj Mandal, they should follow in the footsteps of Sri Krishna's associates who have deep attachment for him and fully utilize every moment of their time like this. This is the essence of all teachings. This is the final essence by Rupa Goswami, this verse. Similarly, in Srimad Bhagavatam, 10, 47, 58, this is the Brahmara Geet. This is when Uddhav visits. Sri Uddhav says,
Etah param tanubruto bhuvi gopavadhvo govinda eva nikhilatmani rudha bhavaha vanchanti yad bhavabhiyo munayo vayancha kim brahma janma bhirananta kadhara rasasya.
Beautiful. The young wives of the Gopas, embodied here on earth, lead the topmost lives because they have Mahabhav, or full-blown, selfless love for Sri Govinda. This is Uddhav speaking. Uddhav is a Jnani Bhakta. He's come from Mathura or Dwarka, and he's just astonished. They were thinking in Dwarka and Mathura that they had the highest excellence of affection for Sri Krishna, for Mathuresh Krishna, Dwarkadish Krishna. And this is why Krishna wanted Uddhav to come and witness the extremity of the gopis' prem for Krishna. Unprecedented. And Uddhav, who is brilliant, he's like in the school of Brihaspati as far as his knowledge is concerned. Uddhav means a festival of joy. He looked even like Krishna. He's Krishna's cousin. His father is the brother of Krishna's father, Vasudeva, and Deva Maya, Deva Bhag, they're brothers. So he's a cousin. And he's come to Vrindavan and he's witnessing the extremity of the gopis' prem. My Gurudev always used to describe that he's looking up at the gopis' prem and his hat falls off the back of his head because it's so high. He can't even begin to see the height of the gopis' prem. Get that example that it's so high. And Uddhav is already high, it seems, by my Mathura estimation or Dwarka estimation. He's like the principal mantri, minister in Dwarka. Everyone loves him so much. But when he witnesses the gopis, he's totally astonished. Lead the topmost lives because they have Mahabhav, or full-blown selfless love for Sri Govinda, the very soul of all. Their pure love is sought after by those sages who fear repeated birth and death, as well as by us. What is the use of being born, even as Lord Brahma, if one does not have any taste for hearing the nectarian descriptions of Sri Hari? Vritrasura also prays that he may gain the association of the Vaishnavas and cultivate prema bhakti under their guidance.
ममोत्तमश्लोकजनेषु सख्यं संसारचक्रे भ्रमतस्वकर्मभिः त्वमायया त्वमात्मजदारगेः स्वासक्तचित्तस्य ननाद भूयात्.
This is from the 6th canto, 11th chapter, 27th verse. O Master of my life, I am not seeking liberation. I am not concerned if I must repeatedly roam about in this vicious cycle of birth and death as a result of my actions. However, wherever I go, in whichever species I take birth, please grant me the loving friendship of your dear devotees, for in their association I can cultivate prema bhakti. My Lord, I only pray that I will not have to mingle with those who, bewildered by your illusory energy, illusory potency, are always attached to their bodies, homes, children, families, and so on. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur prays exactly the same way in many of his bhajans like that. If I have to take birth as an insect, let it be in the house of a Vaishnava. Always wanting this Vaishnava association. Without the Vaishnava association, we're just going to be influenced onto the bodily platform immediately. If we have to, association means, many times we have to be with people who are not Vaishnavas. But association means that you open your hearts. If you open your heart to a non-devotee, they will never understand what you're saying. They cannot understand what you're saying because they believe they're the body. They believe that the sum and substance of their lives is to make the material body happy. So there's no way that they can ever actually comprehend someone who's understanding that I'm not the body and my highest aspiration is beyond this material world. They have no connection with that. So if you reveal your innermost thoughts to a non-devotee, it'll be very bewildering because they'll probably just be brutally offensive or something of that nature also. So we must be cautious there. I know it's a difficulty sometimes. If devotees are living alone, they're naturally friendly by nature, devotees, and then they make friends with so many people. But what is the nature of that friendship? It's just material. Lokik sambandha. It's just on the material platform. And they should know clearly that it is material. Not imagine it's on some spiritual platform. Although the position of Navada Bhakti is so elevated, Sri Satyabrat Muni has no desire for it. Why? Sri Sanatana Goswami reconciles this wonder. He explains that the fruit of one's practice of Navada Bhakti depends upon the nature of one's practice. When the 9 limbs of Bhakti are performed according to Vaidhi-marg, the path of strict adherence to scriptural regulations based on fear, they enable the sadhak to attain Vaikuntha. Yes, once Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada wrote a beautiful essay about Vaikuntha, and before it was edited, it was actually published to some degree. So in his, he made the expression that in Vaikuntha, they have a mood of inferiority complexity. That's how he described it, which means they think they are so much less than Krishna. That inferiority, that mood in Vaikuntha is there. Krishna is so great, and I am so insignificant and small. That doesn't create an equation of beautiful, loving exchanges when there's that dynamic. Someone is so great and someone else is so small. There's a feeling of inferiority towards the Supreme. The Sakhas never feel inferior to Krishna. They feel they can beat Krishna anytime. They fight with Krishna. They can run faster than Krishna sometimes. They don't ever have that feeling. The gopis in particular know that they can control Krishna, especially Radhika. She has him round her little finger, so to speak. In anything that she does, and Krishna is happy by that. Krishna is satisfied by that. This is all about Vrindavan. This is about Braj. This is about the Brajbasis. This is about prem. This is what our meditation contemplation should be. On the other hand, when the same limbs of bhakti are performed in ragmarg, the path of spontaneous love, they enable the sadhak to reach the abode of Vrindavan, where they attain loving service to Krishna. Loving service to Sri Krishna. It is important to carefully understand the meaning of rag. Rag is defined as one's attraction to an object. If the soul's inherent capacity to be attracted is directed towards Sri Krishna, if he becomes the exclusive object of that attraction, it is called Ragatmika Bhakti. Srila Rupa Goswami Pad has defined Ragatmika Bhakti in the following verse.
Ishte swarasaki ragaha paramavishtata bhavet tanmaya bhavet bhaktihi satra ragatmikodita.
Rag is the unquenchable loving thirst for the object of one's affection. That in turn gives rise to spontaneous and intense absorption in that object. Devotion that is performed with such rag is known as ragatmika. So this is a very, very deep topic, and I think I'll leave it here today. This last translation of this verse is very profound. I'm going to read it one more time. Rag is the unquenchable loving thirst for the object of one's affection, that in turn gives rise to spontaneous and intense absorption in that object. Devotion that is performed with such rag is known as Ragatmika Bhakti. So this is our aspiration. So we'll continue with this amazing topic tomorrow. My Gurudev really unpacks and opens this topic brilliantly. This Damodarastakam can really carry us to a very high stage of consciousness. But I'll stop there today and we'll carry on tomorrow. Hare Krishna, Dandavats. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Gaura Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Gaura Hari Bol, Go Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha, kripa sindhavaivacha, patitanam pavanebhyo, vaishnave namo namaha. Damodarastakam ki jai.